Hey, hello. Today I will present our laboratory activity, which is the mini system integration from data to functionality. Integrative programming is the process of connecting different system or subsystems so they can work together. In many real-world organizations, different departments use different software systems, but these systems still need to communicate with each other. So for this project, we choose functional integration. Functional integration means that one subsystem uses the functions of another subsystem to perform tasks. In our system, we created two components, which is subsystem A, which is a data provider that manages student data. It stores and retrieves student records from the file student list. It contains functions that allow the system to get student records, add new students, count the number of students, and provide system information. Then subsystem B, which is the consumer or user interface that interacts with the user, it provides a menu where the user can view students, add students, or see system information. System B does not manage data directly. Instead, it calls the functions from subsystem A to perform those tasks. Um, so here is the files, which is the subsystem A and subsystem B, and then student list. We add the student list so that it can record a data. So let's go to a demonstration, which is now I will demonstrate how the system works and explain how important parts of the code. So first, first of all, I will show you the project folder. Here is the project folder. It contains a file which is the subsystem A, subsystem B, and the student list A. So subsystem A, which is the data provider, um, a Java IO is a library allows the program to read and write files, while a array list here um, is used to store student records in dynamic list. Then um, so getting the student data, you must use a public static array list here. Get student data. This function returns a list of students. Inside the function, we create a array list, which is the array list students new array list. This list temporarily stores the students' records while the program is running. The program then checks if the file exists using if here a file that exists. If the file does not exist, the program creates it and adds some default student records. For example, here, here, it adds a default student data. Then these records ensure the system has initial data when it runs for the first time. The program then reads the file using buffered reader. Here, here, buffered reader. Buffered reader. Then it reads the file line by line, and each line is added to array list. A try catch, a try catch here. A try catch block is used to handle possible errors such as file reading issues, then prevents the program from caching. Finally, the function returns the list of students. While adding here, add student. This function receives student records as a string. First, it retrieves the existing students, which is then we will use the array list students, then get student data, then it adds the new student to the list. After that, it saves the updated list back to the file using buffered writer. The buffered writer writes data into the file efficiently. Here, buffered writer, then get student data. So we will go to the subsystem B, which is the user interface or what we use to interact, what that is responsible for interacting with the user. Then first of all, we import the Java utility scanner. The scanner allows the program to read input from the keyboard. Then next, we create a scanner object here. Scanner object. Um, object will be used to read the user's menu choice. Then the menu system, which is here menu system. Um, This is the program that will display as a menu. Then a do while loop keeps the menu running until the user chooses option 5, which is the set. When the user selects option 1, the subsystem B calls this function subsystem A that get student data, subsystem B that gets here data. This retrieves the student list from subsystem A and prints it on the screen. This is an example of functional integration because subsystem B is using the function from subsystem BA. When the user selects option 4, the program asks the user to enter the student ID, name, and course. Then it creates a student records and calls. So here is the subsystem A here. Subsystem A add student here. Add student subsystem saves the record into student list here, student list to that will demonstrate how the two subsystems work together. If we run the code, um, so that's all about mini. No. So that's all. If we run the code here, um, we enter a one show student records. It will show all the records of the student list from the student list. Then if we show the total students, there are 7 students here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will count it. So it in total, it will count it to total. Then if we choose option 3, um, option 3, enter choice, the system info, the student information provider system, subsystem A, which is subsystem A is our provider. But and if we add a student, if we add a student, then we enter ID 060909. Enter name, and then course, it's IT. Student added successfully. So if we check on this, check on student list, it will show here. It will automatically added to the file, to the another file. Then if we check it in one here. So that's all. Um, So that's all. In this activity, we implemented functional integration between two subsystems. Subsystem A handles all data operations, while subsystem B handles all user interaction. One challenge we observe is data formats consistency. The student records must follow the same format. If the format changes, the system may not read the data correctly. Another challenge is dependency between subsystem. The subsystem B depends on the functions provided by subsystem A. If those functions change, the subsystem B may stop working properly. We also learned that using a text file as a database is simple but limited. In real world systems, developers usually use databases like MySQL or cloud databases for better data management. This experiment relates to real world systems such as school enrollment system, HR system, and financial software, where multiple subsystems must work together to share functionality. Overall, to my learning, this project helped us to understand how functionality integration allows different parts of a system to communicate and work together while keeping their responsibilities separate. So, thank you.